Good morning. Good morning, and what a morning it is. I am Glenn Peoples, the Peoples Carpenter. Welcome to my workshop. It's a busy day. It's a lovely day, although it's going to get a bit cloudy, apparently, if you trust the weather forecast. It's Saturday, so I don't have to go to work or do work that I get paid for, but it is still a busy day. This evening is a party for my daughter's birthday. I also have an assignment that I need to direct my attention to and get that done. It's due very soon. But recently I started building a kitchen island, and I thought I would put the entire build into one video, but it turns out that's going to take quite a while. I'm accumulating quite a lot of footage, and I'm getting down into some detail too, like about things that I haven't done before, like using my router table to cut tenons and whatnot. So I decided to break up my footage, and in this first video I built this top. A relatively straightforward process, but nonetheless somewhat satisfying. Because my kitchen's okay, and I'm improving it, but although I'm going to replace the bench top, which will make a big difference and make that place a lot nicer, I still won't have any more bench top than I have now. And I'd like a bit more surface area to put things on and to work on, and so with the others. And so I decided to build this kitchen island, and here's how it has begun. So here in my wood storage shed, I've got these pieces of old Rimu framing, and I bought them some years ago and I haven't used them because they annoy me. Because it wasn't until I picked them up, I bought them on Marketplace, that the guy mentioned that there were all these nails in there that he had just cut through with a reciprocating saw because he couldn't be bothered denailing them. I guess that's just how the demolition was done. But I thought, that's a pain, because now I can't put that over my jointer. But I think I can still use this. I'll just put this across my bandsaw and cut enough of the wood off that I'll be removing the part that has the nail in it. I did a better job with the previous pieces. This line is obviously not very straight. It's because I would realize that I was too close to the nails, because I was just cutting the tips of some of them off, so I would have to adjust and readjust. But that's okay, I can get those bits of nail out, and I will plane this. It is just the very tip of the nail that came off. I judged it almost right. There we are, that's the fragment. Now, because these are very recycled pieces and there are lots of defects in them, holes like that I obviously don't want in the finished product, I'm going to do the cutting to length now, so I can cut out the defects, and then I'll know how many full length pieces I have and whether or not I need to rummage up some more from my recycled stock. Got close to enough there. It's only going to be a small kitchen island, because it's not a huge kitchen, and it's going to be on wheels. It's going to be about 700, well, it's going to be, my plan, 700 millimeters long. That's the shortest piece there. That's about 715, so I'll be okay. It's going to be 600 wide, and currently it looks like a lot more than that, but the edges of these pieces are a bit wavy. Well, some of them are anyway. And that's for two reasons. Number one, I realized that I needed to adjust the path of my cut when I started brushing the tips of nails, but also the blade that I was using is slightly damaged because I hit a nail some time ago, so it tends to wander a lot. So I can't just put these thick boards against the fence because the blade wants to wander, so I have to kind of manually maneuver it through, and it's just getting dull. I have just replaced it now, so I won't have that issue anymore. So that's going to reduce quite a lot. I'll probably almost have 600 anyway, but just to make sure and to do something a bit nice, I'm going to put a decorative strip down the middle with this piece of purple heart, and for a nice contrast I'll use some of this thick piece of Tawa flooring. So what you saw me doing just there was taking advantage of my new bandsaw blade and running these boards back through the bandsaw with the fence so I can get a nice straight edge to remove all those waves. And it's always difficult when you've only got one hand. Now that is about 600 mils. It will be a bit less than that once I've jointed them, of course, but then I'm going to add that decorative piece as well. Hopefully I won't need to add another board, although I might. It's not the end of the world. Okay, let's start planing. So I have all the pieces sitting on the clamps on my glue up table, and I'm arranging them into two pieces that I will glue together initially so that I can get each one of them through my planer. Now I leave it alone until tomorrow. Time to glue everything together. I've got it planed to the same thickness, and I know that once things are glued up, obviously I can't put this through my planer, so it's really important that things don't slide up or down after I've glued this together, otherwise that'll be a lot of work. And in situations like that, here's a technique that I like to use. I'm just taking some panel pins. Now, these are only 1.6 millimeters thick, so they're little, as panel pins tend to be. And I'm going to use them as indexing pins along the edge here. I'll only use 3. And I'll cut them off so that they're only a couple of mils long. The part that sticks out is only a couple of mils. Or less, it really just has to be a little spike. In fact, I'll make that a little bit shorter. And now I'll dry clamp everything nice and tight so that these pieces will dig all the way in to the centerpiece. Okay, so those pins have made indentations in the centerpiece. Now when I clamp it up with glue, those pins will go into those indentations and stop everything from sliding around. And we are good. Come back tomorrow. No, actually I'm away in town for work for a couple of days, so I'll come back later this week. Incidentally, where possible, the best time to scrape glue off, and I won't give you the time in hours or minutes because it will vary by climate and temperature and so on, it's when it's no longer a liquid, but it hasn't gone hard. It's kind of got a tough jelly-like texture to it, so it rolls off easily with a scraper. It doesn't make a big mess. It's a little bit gooey on the inside. I could have even waited a couple more hours, but that's not too bad. Right, having a bunch of Rimu laminated together is tough work to cut through, so I did it in a few passes as you saw. I couldn't really see this when I glued it up because the glue gets in the way, but I'm not happy with the way that end has turned out. Here's a gap. A gap that I, for one reason or another, did not notice. Right there is the gap. Now I can hide that and it's not going to make this thing weak. Yeah, it's quite obvious at the end as well. But this is the sort of thing one does not wish to see in one's work. I will fill that with something that looks a bit like Rimu. And you won't notice in the end, but I know it's there, so I'm disappointed. But you know what, life is full life is full of disappointments, and sometimes things that we give too much worry to, no one else would even think twice about, and they probably won't when it's finished, other than the people watching this video. I bet no one in my house, unless they watch the video, will realise that happened. I don't often come back to the Very back of the property. I haven't done since moving in. It is nice though. I am glad that winter is on the way out. It must be 5:30 p.m. now. The sun has not yet set over the Tararewa mountain ranges. It's, it's nice out. It's still reasonably warm. I think it's like 17 degrees Celsius right now. That's a view you don't often see of our place. Well, you don't, because you never see our place. House, cottage, workshop. Yeah, I mean, life's okay, isn't it? In spite of,